In this episode of Monthly Variation.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of The One True Love. Now, we're going to get started right into the video. I'm not even going to ramble on any further, so let's get started right into the video. So, let's backtrack a little bit, and I'm going to explain a few things, okay? Now, make sure you listen carefully because these are going to be crucial things for this story. Number one, Jalen is from Beverly Hills, okay? Casey is from Great Falls, Montana. Number three, she has one older sibling. Her name is Grace, and she's 3 years younger than she is. So that means Grace is a junior, and she goes to Great Falls High. In Montana. Number four, Luke's last name is Brenson. So it's Luke Brenson. That's his whole name. Maybe Luke will have a middle name in the next episode. We never know. But let's continue. Number five, Luke's mom is Brazilian. And she speaks Portuguese, so super lit. And her name is Lori. Luke's dad is Australian. And his name is Steven. So Lori and Steven. Just remember that for Luke's mom. And Luke moved to Beverly Hills to attend West Coast University. This is the same college that Jalen and Casey go to. So now that we have backtrack a little bit. Sorry, I almost died. You can pause it and read over this again. And so yeah, let's get right into the story. Chapter 2. Okay. So when Jalen gets to the lounge, she sees Casey sitting on the couch, okay? Now, Jalen knew that she might be there because she was going to meet Luke, but she wasn't 100% sure because Casey might have other plans, Casey is a little bit indecisive and she might have switched it up on her, but she never knew. So Luke, being sneaky, walks up to the door. And now there is a, window, a 2 by 8 window that you can see through, but most people don't really notice it when they are there. So he walks up to the door of the lounge and sees Jalen and Casey sitting on the couch. Jalen and Casey do not notice that he is standing there because they were talking and they never thought to look at the door to see when is Luke gonna come in. They thought if they continue to talk, Luke will show up and then they go from there. So Luke is so fascinated by how pretty Jalen is, but he has so many questions that he wants to ask her. So, trying to be slick, trying to make it not seem like he was just right at the door, he takes 2 steps back, and then he walks in to the lounge, okay? Because he doesn't want to make it seem like he was just right there at the window, watching them. So, he takes 2 steps back and walks in, okay? So, Casey sees him come in, so she stands up and introduces Luke to Jalen. And that's how the conversation went. Casey says, "Hey, Luke." He says, "Hey." Casey says, "Luke, this is Jalen. Jalen, Luke and I are in the same biology class." And Jalen responds with, "Hey, Luke, it's nice to meet you. How's your day going so far?" He says, "It's okay. I'm just a little tired because I was up late last night editing an assignment that's due in a few days for one of my classes." Jalen's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you're so tired. You look like you need to go home and get some sleep." Now, Jalen is very nice. So she says this out of respect for Luke because he's so tired. But Luke has been through this many times before, so it's okay. Luke says, "No, I'll be fine. So how's your day going?" And Casey says, "Hey, sorry for interrupting, but I'm gonna go. Because why does Casey need to be here if this is between Luke and Jalen? Casey can go home, and Jalen can just update her later." So she's like, "I'll see the two of you later. Have fun." And then they say, "We will." And they jinx on that. Okay? So then Jalen says, "Do you want to go sit outside?" Luke responds with, "Yeah, it's a beautiful day." So they walk outside and sit. I gotta change this right quick. Let me just change this right quick. Okay, so they walk outside and sit directly in the sun because it's cold inside of the school. So they just wanted to warm up. So Luke says, "So Jalen, Casey's told me a lot about you, and I'm curious. How many siblings do you have?" So Jalen says, "Let me just start by saying that my siblings, they're a mess because there's so many of them. To some people, it can be a little much, and they shy away when I start going into details about her siblings." Luke is like, "No, I love big families. I only have 2 siblings. An older sister who is 4 years older than me. Her name is Haley. Also a younger brother who is 3 years younger than me, and his name is Gabriel." And he said, "We moved a lot." He said that his sister was born in Hartford, Connecticut, and his family lived there for 3 years. They moved to Clearwater, Florida, and then the next year, like a year later, after they moved, went to Hartford, Connecticut that's where his sister was born. His older sister, Haley, was born. When Haley was 3 years old, they moved to Clearwater, Florida. Okay, a year goes by, Haley is 4 years old, and Luke was born. And then 3 years later, so Luke is 3 years old, and Haley is 7, and then his brother was born. And when his brother was 2.5, his family moved to a city in Kansas called Lawrence. And so Luke moved from Kansas to Beverly Hills to go to college. So he's like it's not a long time where he's away from home, but it's pretty far away. So he has to take a plane to go back to his house. Or he can drive, but it doesn't even matter. He says also he wishes that his mom would have had more kids so that he could have more siblings. He's like, "Oh, so I'm so sorry for the backstory. Please tell me about your family." Jalen says, "No, you're good. I find it really cute that you wanted to have more siblings." She says most people will say they wanted fewer siblings, but back to my family. She says she has 5 siblings. It was like, "Wow, things must have been hectic in your house." Jalen responds, "Well, yeah, they were at times. There was never a dull moment, but now it's pretty quiet because most of my siblings have moved out, gotten married, and had kids." Okay, so she responds by saying she has 2 older brothers, Sebastian and Grayson. They're 28. And then Luke cuts her off and is like, "Wow, twin brothers?" Oh, I forgot to say that Jalen was like, "I have 2 older twin brothers, Sebastian and Grayson. They're 28. And then Luke cuts her off. "Wow, twin brothers? I've always wanted to have a twin." Jalen's like, "Yeah, me too, but I love how close my brothers were. Now that they're married, they have kids, they don't spend as much time together because their lives are so busy." She says she also has 2 older sisters, Jasmine and Jordan. "I also have a younger brother named Jackson. But Jasmine is 24, Jordan is 22, her sister Jasmine is married, and her other sister Jordan is not married, but she has a boyfriend who is pretty chill." Then she goes on to get personal. She was like, "It's weird because I was closest to Jordan and we used to do everything together. Now we've kind of stopped because she wants to spend more time with her boyfriend. So I kind of feel left out." Luke is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. If you ever need someone to talk to, you can just hit me up." She says, "Thanks, Luke." And then she goes, and Luke asks, "Are you okay?" She says, "Yeah, you're just one of the few who I've told that to, and it brings back so many memories that I try to forget about. But I feel like you really cared about my situation, and you're one of the first guys who listened to the whole story without cutting me off." Because, most guys would be like, "What the heck are you talking about?" Or whatever. They don't really care about her whole life story. Okay? And so Luke is like, "I would never cut someone off." He said, so then he goes on to state, you can pause this and read this, but I'm just going to do long story short. He goes on to state that his mom taught him that he should always be a good listener because he wouldn't want anybody else to cut him off. Stanley's like, "Oh, that's amazing. It seems like your mom really loved you and wanted you to grow up to be someone who was a great listener." Luke says, "Yep, I thank her every day for teaching me that." And Jalen says, "That's so sweet." And then her phone rings. She's like, "I'm so sorry." Luke's like, "No, you're good." Jalen says, "It's my mom. She rarely calls me when I'm at school, so it must be important. I'll be right back." And then Luke says, "Take as much time as you need." Jalen says, "Thanks." So this is where I was going to stop at, but I'm just gonna continue to look. Sorry, you guys cannot see what's on the screen right now, but I'm gonna continue to look and see if I want to go any further. So now we are back. Sorry about that. If the audio just cut out, sorry. But now we are back, and we're gonna continue with the story. I found a place where we can stop it, and now you guys can see the screen. And so now we are Gucci. So Luke says, "Take as much time as you need," because her mom called her. So Jalen says, "Thanks."
No way.
Dog Louie is always gonna interrupt me. So Jalen says, "Hey mom, is something wrong?" Her mom says, "Yeah, I'm at the doctor with your little brother. I was at work when I got a call from the daycare saying that Jackson threw up twice and he had diarrhea, TMI, this morning and one more before I showed up. So I went to pick him up, took him to the doctor's, and we're waiting for the doctor right now. But can I ask a favor from you?" Jalen says, "Yeah, what is it?" Her mom says, "I need to get back to work because I have an important business meeting at 2:15, and I need to get back to set things up for the meeting. Set it for the meeting. Can you come to the doctor's, see what's wrong with your brother, and then take him home and watch him until your father gets home from work at 5? Jalen says, "Is it okay if I bring a friend along with me?" And she says this out of respect for Luke, because when she's just meeting this man, she can't just like ditch him like that. So she's asking if he can come along with her. And you know, how moms react. They always like overreact sometimes because they want to make sure that you're not going out with some crazy type of man. So her mom's like, "Which friend?" Jalen says, "His name is Luke. We just met, and I think we hit it off, and we may hang out again after today, but because he's really nice and he's a sweet guy." So his mom says, "Sure, I'll text your father and tell him that he'll be at the house with you." Okay. Then she goes on to say, "Okay, we should be there in 10 minutes. It's 1:30, so we should be there between 1:50 and 2 o'clock." She says, "Okay, see you when you get here." She says, "Love you." And then Jalen's mom says, "Love you too, bye." And Jalen says, "Bye." So then she goes over to Luke and says, "Luke, I have to go to the doctor's and be with my little brother because my mom has to go back to work. So I'm stuck taking care of him until my dad comes home from work at 5. He says, "Okay, what are you doing tomorrow at this time?" Jalen says, "Nothing. I do not have any classes tomorrow." So Luke says, "Perfect. If you're down, we could go and get lunch. You, me, and Casey." Jalen says, "Sure, that'll work. But if you're not busy, you're free to come with me, and if you don't mind helping me take care of my little brother." Luke says, "How old is he?" Because he just wants to like gauge what he's about to be dealing with. So Jalen says he's 3 months old. And Luke's like, "Oh, he's super tiny." Jalen says, "Yeah, and he's spoiled." Luke says, "I would love to help you take care of him. I remember when my brother was 3 months old. That was the happiest time of my life. I loved how little and cute he was. Now he's 15 and thinks he knows everything." Jen says, "Oh, that's adorable." Well, 15, how old is he? It's okay. It's okay, because this will work out in our favor. So Jen says, "Oh, that's adorable. Okay, it's 1:45. You can follow me to the doctor's office in your car. It should take us 10 minutes to get there." Luke says, "Okay, lead the way, my princess." Now it slips. Luke really slipped when he said, "my princess." So it catches Jalen off guard. Jalen says, "Wait, what?" He says, "Is it okay if I call you that? I love giving my friends nicknames." And so he tries to play it off like he likes giving his friends nicknames when he's never given his friends any nicknames before. So Jalen just plays along with it. "Sure." She says, "I love that name." Luke, he whispers to himself, "Yes." Because he's like super excited that, it just slipped. Like he wasn't planning on like saying that to her. Like it slipped. So he says, he gets all excited. So then Jalen and Luke drive to the doctor's office in record time. Instead of it taking them 10 minutes, it took them 8 minutes. They were like going a little bit over the speed limit, but it's okay. because the traffic around the school was not that bad. They meet Jalen's mom inside the room and they switch off because remember that Jalen's mom has to go to a business meeting to set things up. So they switch off. Jalen's mom gets up to get ready to leave, and then Jalen and Luke sit down with Jackson, wait for the doctor to come in. So I'm going to stop this episode here, and sorry for the distractions in the background. I'm going to stop this episode here because this is where I decided that I wanted to stop the episode. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching and coming along on this journey of the story called The One True Love. And I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you guys next month for the next monthly variation series. And I will see you guys for the next episode of The One True Love. Bye, guys.